Hey friends, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. In today's video, as the title says, we're going to look at the new YSL cheek palette, and the palette is Golden Oasis. So this is the box that it comes in. I don't want to blind you, but it's pretty big, and then it came wrapped pretty well in this cardboard. I like to show you what that looks like, so if you're going to gift this to somebody, or if you're shipping and you're concerned about it breaking, it was packed in there pretty well. And this palette is absolutely stunning. It's pretty big and it's got a lot of weight to it. And then this is the inside of the palette. So you've got 3 new highlighters and 3 existing blushes. So if you have a big collection of these YSL singles, you might want to check and see which ones you have before you purchase this, because the only thing new in this palette are the highlighters. The blushes are existing shades. So when I looked at the description on Sephora, it just says, like, it just describes the shades. And so I had to like really look on the box, or I was kind of looking around to see which shades it was. And I watched a couple of videos before, you know, I had already purchased it, but sometimes I like to watch other people's videos, especially if they have my skin tone, to see how they might deal with like this one shade in here, for example, that's a little bit darker and it's going to be too dark for my skin tone. So the 3 blushes that it contains is Restless Rosé. It's either rose or rosé, but I think I see a little hyphen above the E, so I think it's rosé. I was actually going to purchase that as a single, so I was really excited to see that it's in this palette. So that's number 93, and then number 77 is number 44, Nude Lavalier. That's the one that I have. So that's a repeat shade for me. And then Berry Bang is the deepest shade. And then the 3 highlighters are Hypnotic Honey, Hallucinating Pink, and Bronze Dunes. So it says on here that it's inspired by the infinite colors of the desert. It's a limited edition face palette. It enhances your makeup looks with a harmony of sun-kissed hues. So that's what it says on the back of the box. Then when I went on to Sephora, I live in a desert, which I think is funny that this is inspired by the colors of the desert. It says limited edition face palette in a pearlescent champagne pink clutch with 3 Make Me blushes and 3 new highlighters to enhance your overall complexion. It says it's a light coverage. It's a buildable formula. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It retails for $85. And like I said, it's limited edition. Now on Sephora's website, it's saying that it's out of stock. So the Sephora sale is going to be starting on October 31st. So I'm trying to get out as many of the reviews for you as I can for some of the products that I've already purchased. And this being one of them. So if you're considering this product and you're waiting for a sale, Sephora starts on October 31st. Rouge gets 20%. And they usually, the first 4 days, I think, are usually dedicated to Rouge. And then like either the 4th or the 5th day in, it's a 10-day sale, then everybody else gets access, and it's tiered 15%, 10%, 30% for everybody for Sephora collection. So if you're waiting for that sale, that's the deets on it. So let's just look at this again. We've got that Restless Rose shade up here. This is the Nude Lavalier, and then this is the Berry Bang. So I'll give you some swatches. And I'll do it on my hand because when I do it on the back of my wrist, it doesn't show up really well. Okay, so those are the 3 shades. So this is the Rosé, the Nude Lavalier, and then the Berry Bang. So I'm gonna take my single Nude Lavalier. I'm probably not saying that right because I think it's French. So there's my single number 44 Nude Lavalier, and then here's the one in the palette. So I'm just gonna take another, okay, there's a slight difference. The palette seems to be a little bit lighter than the single, which is interesting. If I turn my hand a little bit, it looks like it's exactly the same, but I can see that there's a slight difference there. So anyway, I just wanted to point that out. I don't think you need this palette if you have these 3 shades. Like, I wouldn't purchase this just for the 3 highlighter shades. Anyway, that's just my feedback on that. So let's wipe that off, and then let's do the swatches for the 3 new highlighter shades. So this is like a champagne. This one has a little bit of a pink flip. And then there's the gold. I don't know how well that's showing up because this is all a blur to me when I look in there, when I look in my screen. So, so anyway, that's where we're at with that. So let's go ahead and get these on. Or the rose. Interesting, I was gonna buy this shade as a single. Ooh. That's really pretty. Okay. Let me wipe this off. And I'm gonna go in with the Berry Bang because that one's dark. And I put some on the back of my hand because I don't want this to be too dark. Okay. So you can see this is much more pigmented than the rosé. They look very similar, but this one is darker. And then I'm gonna take a new brush and I'm gonna dip into the Lavalier number 44. And I'm gonna put that in the front, like right here. Yeah, that looks really nice. Okay, well, that is the 3 blushes. So with this golden, this deepest gold, I'm going to actually just put this on my eyes. I saw somebody else do this that has my skin tone because it's really like it's like a deep golden. And I just had a liquid brown liquid eyeshadow from Makeup by Mario on, and then I had put it, I had used that shade on this eye, and then I basically just balanced it out. So I think it's nice for my skin tone for an eyeshadow, but on my face, I think it would look a little weird. Maybe if I was tan, it might look okay. And now I'm gonna go into this highlighter, and I'm just gonna put that it's subtle, but I really like it. So I usually like a beaming highlight, but I think this one is pretty good. And then this one is this one has more of a pink shift to it. Let's see if that shows up. There we go. Because I'm using my finger, it's getting like a little wonky. I had to kind of really dig in there. Okay, so now I can see that it's showing up. I don't know if you can see it right here. And this is, yeah, I can see the difference. This is more like a champagne color, and then this one I can see a little bit of a pink shift. I was wondering if that would work for me, because I don't really like pink in my highlighters, but I kind of like this one. I think it's nice. Okay, well I'm gonna try one more thing. I just want to make sure I didn't have anything on that brush. So I want to go back in with the Nude Lavalier because I feel like it looks a little too much like this one. So I'm just going to wipe the makeup off on this side of my face, reapply okay, so I reapplied the tint, and I cleaned the brush, so I made sure everything was off it. And now I want to go back into this first shade because my fear was that I had some remnants left over of the berry, which is much deeper, and I don't feel like I'm giving you a true representation of that rosé shade. So let's go back over this. Yeah, see, I feel like this is really, I think I had some leftover of that deeper berry bang shade, I think it was called. Oh, that's really pretty. So you can see how much deeper this side is compared to this one. Anyway, I hope you can see that. Okay, well, that is the palette. So on my lips, I have a MAC Whirl lip liner. And then I have 3 different lipsticks from YSL. So I have number 121. So that's 121. In fact, I'll put some on because that's a shade that I was wearing in the beginning. And then I have shade, I think that says 85. Very pretty. I'll put the shades down below in the description for you like I usually do. And then Sephora was having like 50% off, and they had one of these candy glazes. They call it a double care balm. And the shade is number 7, Beige Bliss. So this has more of like a silver component with like a hot pink in the middle. And the gold ones are the lipsticks. But here's the thing. When I took this out of the box, I was like, this is not Nude Bliss or Beige Bliss. Beige Bliss. This does not look beige to me. This looks more, you could even see in the component, I don't see a big difference between these two formulas. Anyway, even though this does not seem like the shade itself doesn't seem to line up with the actual, like the name of the shade, but it's really pretty, so I'm fine with it. I just want to mention that it's not quite the same. They don't match up. Anyway, so that's what I have on my lips. And then for my tint, I'm using the Live Tinted Hueguard tint. It's a mineral sunscreen SPF 50. This is my second tube of this because I really love it. I think it looks really good on, and I'm gonna have to spell this out, MATURE, because I don't want to get, there's some weird Google algorithm that if you use certain words, it kind of like, you know, like blocks some videos. So that's why I'm spelling it out. But it's really good for that type of skin, in my opinion. I use shade 9 in case you're interested. And like I said, this is my second tube of this. The only thing I don't like about this tint is I don't like the smell of it. It's not that bad when you first open it and start using it, but I noticed my other one, once I was like squeezing out pretty much what was left, I was like, I don't like the way this stuff smells. This has the same smell, it's just not as pungent as like when you start getting down through it. So maybe if I use it up quicker, it won't do that. And it wasn't bad. It didn't go bad. That wasn't the smell. There is a smell to this that I don't love. So if the Live Tinted people are watching this, maybe you could do something about that. Anyway, so this palette, back to the palette, which is the star of the show. I think this is an absolutely beautiful palette, either for you or if you want to give it as a gift to someone. It feels luxe, it looks beautiful, it has a nice weight to it. And look, these blushes, I think they're, what are they, $46 each? You know, beautiful packaging, you know, lovely, nothing wrong with it. But I feel, does this tell me, they're made in Italy, by the way. So both the singles and this palette are made in Italy. This is 0.21 ounces. You're getting 0.95 ounces in here. So you're getting those 3 highlighters, which are new, and then you're getting 3 blushes. So $85, in my opinion, this is totally worth it. And makeup family, hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell because I have been reviewing a lot of these new drops. I'm trying to get them all posted ahead of the Sephora sale. And even if you don't shop the Sephora sale, but you want to shop some other sales leading up to the, you know, throughout the holidays, you have the information. But my goal is to get it up before the Sephora sale because I know a lot of people like to shop that. So I want to thank you very much for your time. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. There's more to come, and I'll see you soon.